putting on events. Miss Sam the Leb. The only way I knew she was Leb right away.
I can't wait to hear you 9 words.
Everybody, take that picture. Show me the money. Money, money. Uh-oh. All right, guys. Everybody, my name is Albert Corey. Everybody in front of you, take out your pens, and I passed out a whole bunch of papers so you can take the notes. Because by the end of the day, we're going to show you a simple and easy way to put money in your pocket with less stress and capital. I want you to raise your hands and say, cha-ching, if you could use just a little bit extra money at the end of the month. Because I know I can, because we all can use it every single time. So will it be okay if I tell you my story? Thank you. So today, you see me on business stages, 3 Amazon bestsellers, been in business for almost 40 years. But guess what? You know, I didn't start out this way. So when I started out, I was working in my parents' business. Until one day, Mom comes up to me and goes, Albert, yeah, Mom, you owe the IRS. I go, huh? I didn't know what that was. You know, I just got paid an allowance. Pretty much I'd go on top of the medicine cabinet and get what I wanted. Yeah, get your checkbook. I said, this can't be true. So this is why I started CFO In A Box, so I can show everybody how to put more money in your pocket with less stress and capital. You know, I like to say Janelle and Sam, and everybody who put the event together, the music people, the speakers. Let me tell you something. There's amazing people in this room. And guess what? Every time you talk to them, the government will pay for it. What a concept. We've been showing this for almost 40 years. So, could you use a little extra money at the extra month? Now, I want you to write down, what would you do with it, with whatever you get at the end of the month? Write it down on the paper. Here you go. One simple system. It's called the the Dada. You follow the Dada system, and there'll be money in your pocket almost instantly. So the first one you got to know is, remember, write these down. I talk fast and I talk a lot. So write them down so you can always keep them. So the first date you got to know is going to be January 10th. January 10th is you got to call whoever's doing your accounting, your bookkeeping, whatever you're doing, whoever's going to do your tax return. When you work with us in CFO In A Box, we're going to make sure that's all taken care of. Because you got to make sure that the extension is done so you don't have to pay IRS late fees. Because all business returns are due on March 15th. Now, the IRS loves taking your money. So if you file that return on March 16th at 12:04 and you got an LLC, you're going to start giving the IRS $400. Okay? It's like $400 will disappear out of your pocket, and they're going to start chasing you. Well, the second date that you got to know is July 15th. Well, a lot of people always tell me, why July 15th? Because guess what? Most business owners aren't doing their bookkeeping. You know, you had 18 months to do it, and you didn't get it done. So what you got to do is you got to say, uh-oh, let me start getting my stuff together. And the next day you'll have to know is August 15th. August 15th is probably the second most important day because one of 3 things are going to happen. Okay, you're going to call up the guy, he's going to give you an appointment because all returns are due on September 15th. There's no exclusions. The government will whack you if you're on the 16th. So you got to call the person up. She's going to tell you, yeah, they're going to do an appointment. B, they're either out of business. Raise your hand if you all are coaches, influencers, anything like that, right, in this room? Look, I'll guarantee you, most people who do accounting or businesses don't understand a clue what from a VA or going to an event. They're going to say, what's that? When you work with us in CFO In A Box, dude, I've worked with everything from lizard ranchers. Can I say this word? We're all over 18 here. Say yes? From lizard ranchers to porn stars and everything in between. And by the way, it's the porn star who made the most money in the last 10 years. So we can help you. We're going to make sure that you get everything done. So make sure you know the dates, because the dates you're going to start putting money in your pocket almost instantly, because you're not going to have any late charges. So now, the next day is your address. Now, a lot of us here, raise your hand if you're not from Florida. Now, how many of you all are not in Florida? So is your company, I should answer the question, is your company based in Florida? Okay, so if your company based in Florida, when you're working with me, there's a couple other things. Because Florida, we don't have no state income tax. So that's good. So make sure if you're not in Florida, you don't want to be in, because all these other states have state income tax, that they're going to start taking money from you. But I'm going to give you a little pro tip that if you're in Florida, make sure, raise your hand real quick if you have your company at your house. Is your corporate address at your house? Everybody raise their hands. Well, guess what? That's the worst thing you can do for a couple of reasons. Either one, if you get any crazy schizo clients, they come knocking on your door. Okay. Two, if something goes south, guess what? The creditor or IRS or anybody can come knocking on your door, give me your money with a subpoena. Or three, if you got to disappear because you didn't start paying your bills and you want to start over, they can subpoena, but nobody's going to be there if you went to a UPS store or got a physical address. In our course, we're going to tell you exactly how everything will always work. We're going to get it done. So the next one, how about everybody writing all these deductions, all these tips down, right? So you don't forget, because I want you to start putting money in your pocket. Now, here's the coolest thing, is deductions. Okay, deductions is probably the biggest thing I help our clients on, because guess what? Almost everything the IRS rule says is anything you do to move your business forward. And I'll show you the simple trick. Guess what? Netflix could be a deduction. You're in there, you're home. We show you how to deduct all that. But I'm going to give you the simple tip how you can make a lot of stuff get all deductible. So you know what the simple line is? You ask somebody, what do you do in your business? You ask that one question. And they're going to tell you, and sometimes they could be your client. I can tell you how I wrote off half my golf cart and made $6,000. Because the guy delivers my golf cart. By the way, if you're on TikTok or YouTube, you can see my golf cart running around mine is brick. So the guy delivers it. I asked him, what do you do? And he goes, oh, my wife, and he tells me he fixes golf carts, but his wife had a tax issue. So guess what? Because I said, hey, what do you do? Boom, it's a form of advertising. Say yes. So now getting that golf cart delivered is a deduction because I made $6,000. What a concept. Right? It's great. And and it's a legal deduction. Now the last thing is, guess what? A is for accounting. So here's the question. Most of you are business owners, right? And you all make over $400 a month. More than 400, right? Well, what's it called? QuickBooks says the average business owner makes, takes 4 hours a month. So if you're spending 4 hours times 400, that's $1,600. You own that 4 hours. You can either be searching for clients or having time with your family. So when you're working with us with CFO In A Box, we're going to make sure that your company's in good compliance, You know, I've worked with everything, with every kind of business, so we're going to show you how to make sure everything is done right. So we'll go over your tax return, we'll review everything. If you need an office, a physical office, I pay $6,800 a month for my office in Hialeah, Florida, in a real shopping center. My red check says so. So we're going to help you get there. And here's something else when you get with me. You know, I got clients with here, Misha, Janelle, Sam. See, when you work with me, and everybody knows I talk a lot, boy, do I talk a lot, but we are a live human being. I don't do no AI. When you call our office, you know, somebody in the office will answer the phone. You know, we're going to make sure you get live, real people. Because most people, you go there, you know, I was at an event last weekend with Misha, and I made 7 clients. You know I got 7 clients? Because they all talked to their guy, and the guy still hasn't called them back. So when you start working with me, whether it's my coaching side, because I've done, you know, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Remember, I've talked to a lot of people in this business here, and I'll go toe-to-toe, and I can answer, right, everybody's questions, because I've worked with everything. We worked with every kind of business. So that's what we do. Here's another great story. My why is I got the smartest 20-year-old grandmother, goes up to grandma and says, Grandma tells me that my granddaughter Mia says that, oh, I want to go to Disney World. Okay. But here's another funny that we're in business. See, you know how you know you're in business a long time and you're old? When the grandkids of the original people in the beginning tell you, oh, my grandpa told me to come. That's old. So I guess I got 5 minutes left. So anybody questions how to work with? Oh, I want everybody to take out their phones. By the way, I'm in the back to ask everybody's questions. We got programs and prices to deal with whatever we got to do. If you need coaching, a lot of you people don't have nobody to ask questions to. If you got an accountant, I can always help you with your business. So I want everybody to take out their phone, raise your hand if you want 6 tips that you can put money in your pocket almost instantly. Say yes. Now, when everybody take out their phone, come on, everybody pick up their phone. If you don't like making money and saving money, it's okay. Put your phone down. Okay? But if you want to put money in your phone almost instantly, I want everybody, come on, boys in the back, come on, write some notes down. Okay, now everybody put Taxman, T-A-X-M-A-X to 26786. Got that? T-A-X-M-A-X to 26786. T-A-X, you know, Taxman, X, Taxman, you know. I know we didn't have any cocktails yet, so I'm sure you can get this. T-A-X-M-A-N. There you go. T-A-X-M-A-N. 26786. Thank you. So I got like 4 minutes left. Ask away, Miss Misha.
Can you explain about hub zones?
Oh, sure. Well, that's a cool thing. My office is a hub zone. So for SBA loans, they love in areas that are like in poor areas, I guess. You want to call it that way? Economic problems. By the way, guess where the #1 hub zone in Florida is? No, 1800 West 68th Street, Suite 118. Who do you think runs that address? Me, for 20 years. At least that's what my rent checks tell me. So when you're working with me, you use my office, you get a hub zone. And that's going to take you a little bit closer to getting grants. You know, Christina was talking about grants, and number the biggest thing they're looking for is hub zones, because that's underutilized area. Any other questions? Not, I can keep talking. Good. Anybody have questions? No? So here's the question. Here's how I can make almost everything deductible. You know, we start talking. Here, I'll do one with you. Hey, what's your name?
Diane.
Diane, what do you do for a living? Okay. Did you overpay the IRS last year? Good. Thank you. Boom. Oh, let me tell you, I know a great tax guy can help you put more money in your pocket. So if you overpay the IRS, by the way, let me ask everybody another question. Raise your hand if you felt the IRS took too much money out of your pocket. Say yes. Well, guess what? You need to talk to somebody who can make sure you put more money in your pocket. Because there's so many deductions you can take. So what happened was the guy delivers the cart, get it? And then he goes, oh, I don't file tax, but my wife needs help desperately. Next thing you know, she calls me up. We talked to her, $6,000 later. Not only did I make money, but guess what? That golf cart delivery was a deduction. Why? Because I use my golf cart as an advertising tool. Dude, I make money. If you ever follow me on Facebook, I walk my granddog. You know how many comments you get because you're walking your granddog? A little shih tzu, whatever she's called. But, shih tzu, But guess what? It gets me, guys, it gets you engagement. It gets people talking. Barbie, I'll bet you later we're going to do that little stretch thing you got, and I'll guarantee I'll say, you see, I'm using it. If you're watching my stuff, when I'm paying you, guess what? Barbie, I can't pronounce my own name. Which you're just a band lady to me. Sorry, what's your name again?
I think it's my own band.
Thank you. She's a band lady. Becca. See, I was close. Because with the guys, I can barely remember my own name, right? Misha, they'll tell you. Right, Roger? Remembering names is not always, the easiest part of my life. My job is to make sure you put more money in your pocket. Guess what? Old is when you get old people, I'm out of time. Everybody, I didn't hear the text. What do you got to do? Text tax man. So what number? TAXMAN. I'll be in the back all day. I'm out of time, right?
Yes.
TAXMAN. I'm in the back. I will guarantee you. Look, anybody's ever worked with me, I will guarantee your money back. Oh, that's my exit song, but I take every minute.
I prefer some conditions. Yes. Being novel. For a time, people can not see the more of the audience. Who do all my